Hi, Mandy. Okay, so my question, oh, I'm Diana, by the way. My question is, how do you know the legitimacy of a company, and are they all the same? So in the sense of when I'm going out to the mall, even at school, I've been scouted multiple times by the same company. The one in my area is Southwest Model and Talent Agency. And, they scouted me, I interviewed them, they loved me, they're like, oh, we love you, like, we want to work with you, all this, but you have to make this initial investment of like $2,000 to $3,000 to take our classes because we want our models to be trained. And that makes sense. Because you don't want to work with someone who doesn't know the ropes. But when I'm looking at it, like, as a model looking at the agency, it kind of makes more sense to me. Like, if you see opportunity, if you think I'm great for a company, isn't it kind of an investment that you're also making on me? So, like, wouldn't you give me the opportunity and then take a percentage out of that? Or can you just clarify how that works? Is for every model and talent agency, do you have to make that first initial investment? Or is that kind of something that is proving that the company is not as legitimate as you thought?
Hi Diana, thank you so much for your great question. So do you need training in order to get signed? And how do you know if an agency is legitimate? Well, I always think that head trainings also has to be your choice. And it's, of course, training is great, and I think if you make an investment, it can either be for a photo shoot or for training. Neither in those, of course, you have to have a good trainer or a good photographer, but you can't go wrong with that. But I don't think it has to be mandatory in order to get signed, right? Because yes, if an agency really wants you, and they want to work with you, so, and of course you want to be the best version of you, they want to develop you at best. And how it normally also goes is that because I do train either aspiring models and models at the agency for development. And yeah, normally either it does sometimes is something that they pay directly, but again, it's their choice, or it comes from their account. Indeed, if you have a job, then it comes from that account. But it's always a choice, and yeah, you do. I mean, I want to be the best. I want you to be the best. So I do see that it just hires or hires the chance to get jobs. And also that's also the reason why designers or casting artists also hire me to work at the shows to get the models have the perfect walk, because if you really cannot walk, that's hard sometimes for your castings to get adopted or not. Of course, there's a lot of other things as well, the way you look, your personality, but that's also one of the factors. And in order, how do you know if an agency is legitimate or not? I would say really do your research. So really look out. I mean, Instagram is now had a portfolio, of course a website, you can Google that agency. And what you can do as well, what I would recommend, even for taking my classes, you can always just ask the people who has been tagged on their pictures at an agency, like, hey, what is your experience? And if that model is with that agency, they're happy normally. They are like, yes, it's a great agency. And also don't ask one person, just ask multiple people. I mean, for me as well, if I have different students, and I always I'm very happy with them, and I see happy faces also after the class. But yeah, I think that's a good thing to do your research. And again, I think it is a good investment to invest in your education, so you prepare yourself at best. And of course, the most important thing is your confidence. and confidence is something that you can train. And with my psychology background, that's the main focus. I would say even more than the walk itself is, or the posing itself is, that confidence. So I definitely, yeah, would recommend to take a look into that for yourself. But yes, great question. And you had another question. Let me see.
So also another question I have is, I know I'm seeing on social media, I see on your page it's always for runway models, and I'm about like 5'7", so I'm a bit on the shorter end. And honestly, like, my walk is okay. I've been practicing. I need to control my upper body when I walk because I look like super like flimsy and weird. But you know, it's a work in progress. Especially, this is also my thing. Online, you can get every training for free nowadays. So if I'm, you know, spending the time and I'm going to the audition and I show you what I have, like, do I still have to make that initial investment to take your classes for that model and talent agency that I'm choosing? And also, how is it different to be like a catalog fitness model, and how is that different from becoming a runway model? So how do you expose yourself there? How do you find opportunities for that area? Because I feel like with my body type and just also my personality, I feel like that would be a better fit for me, to be like more of like that fitness catalog model as opposed to like a runway model. And let me see if I have any more questions. Yeah, that's just the main thing. How do you put yourself more out there? And yeah, thank you for taking time to respond to me.
What a great question. I mean, to expose yourself in either fitness or runway, it's the same thing, right? You also go to agencies who have that department. You just research, and really take a look what agencies are out there, what is in my surroundings, but also maybe what's in other states. Don't limit yourself, and then apply. And that's also the same. Very clean pictures, just you. And in terms of runway, I mean, it's the same as well, but also don't think that if you're focusing on fitness, or even if you're 5'7", don't think that you cannot do any runway, because there is a possibility. And because even like Lululemon, they also do a runway show. And Macy's is doing a runway show. So it's also in the commercial field that there are a lot of runways, and not all of the models are also 5'8". So definitely don't think only this or only that, but just see it as a whole. And yeah, I think definitely education is so important, and especially now that we have a little bit more time. And yes, maybe, yeah, you can find a lot for free. I also have the webinars for free, but most of all, it's an introduction, and really making sure, like, where do you start? But yes, it is a good investment, because there's no personal feedback, in that sense that I can't see you, right? If I do a free training, or if you find some free trainings, most of the time it's the information that you need. But if you have questions, or if you need feedback, then it is good to invest, because that takes, of course, time, and that takes experience, or an expert to really lead you, or to guide you in that sense. So I do think those classes are a good investment, but again, it's all up to you, and how far would you like to go to take those actions. You can always apply to agencies, and you can always, how do you say it, like, feel the waters, what's out there, and just try. I think that's the most important thing. And to prepare yourself as best as you can is to, of course, taking the classes, but the foremost, be confident, be yourself, and show yourself. That's it. Good luck. Oh yeah, and of course you can always send in other questions and just subscribe on the YouTube channel, because I am sharing a lot of information. And Diana, thank you again for your question. Bye bye.